thanks to the supporters of channel member DC Maximo. North London derby and back in the Champions League after a gazillion years away. What more could you want from an episode? Hello and welcome to part 11 of Rebuilding Arsenal. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the North London derby away against Tottenham and also a Champions League game away against Zenit St. Petersburg. Since you were last with me, we have had a pretty good start to the Premier League season. You can see we had a couple of draws in there, which wasn't ideal. I mean, the Chelsea draw away from home is fine. Drawing away against Southampton is probably our one wobble so far this season, but we have beaten Manchester City at home, which is awesome. We got ourselves knocked out of the Carabao Cup with another stupidly long penalty shootout. Not quite as bad as the one we had in the FA Cup final last year, but it was long. These need dealing with for the full release of the game. And we won our first Champions League game of the year, 4-1 over Antwerp. So the Premier League table looks like this. We're 4 points behind Man United, but we do have a game in hand. That's the game that we're playing against Spurs. Now, a Spurs team who are doing much better this year than they were last year. So it's not going to be as straightforward as North London derbies were last year. And then in the Champions League, we're in a group with Zenit, Zebra and Antwerp. All ends of the alphabet covered. 2 A's, 2 Z's. Beautiful. And we are top of the group as it stands and hopefully looking good to make some Champions League progress this year. In other news, I have made some adjustments to the corner routines as requested by a lot of you. We're no longer just pumping every corner to the near post. We've got 3 different corner routines, and we talked about this on stream the other night. If you want to watch me on stream and get involved in these discussions, twitch.tv/LOLLUJO. I'm streaming 4 or 5 times a week at the moment. That's the plan anyway. But I now have, for attack, we have 3 different corner routines. We've got the near post one we've been using. We've got the short corner routine that I stole off Clates in the Streamer Showdown last year. And then we've got a far post one that I've just stuck in as well. And with 3 routines loaded, the idea is it will rotate through the 3 and at the very least stop us just hitting the near post over and over again. But for those of you who were worried that it was just near post corners that were overpowered, I think it was this goal Zagadou scored against Antwerp was from a far post. I think. I know he did get one. Where is he? Why can't I see the goal? There it is. How do I... There we go. I think that will show you. I think this is a far post corner. So just in general, I don't think it's near... I know we're discussing this a lot. Oh, it's a free kick. Okay. There was one. It might have been a disallowed one in the same game. That was a far post corner, or I guess it could have been this one against Manchester City. We'll just have another little look. We'll obviously keep an eye out for it in these matches as well, but I don't think it is just near post corners that are overpowered. I think in general, it's 6'5" lads who are good in the air. There you go. This is a far post one. So he's just as effective at the far post. So I don't know. What am I supposed to do? As long as we hit Zagadou, he's going to score. It's not a case of having a fancy corner exploit tactic. It's him just being incredible in the air. And I think you're going to have that problem. It's not really a problem, is it? It's great. We love having goal-scoring centre-backs. But if he starts scoring 20, 25 goals a season, it is probably something Sports Interactive need to just tone down ever so slightly for the full release of the game. I was listening to the FM podcast from The Athletic. And Nick Madden, the guy who does the match engine stuff, was on there talking about the tweaks they've made to how the AI defends at corners and set pieces and their decision making. And I do wonder if it maybe just needs tweaking a little bit more, because if anything, I think their marking has got a little worse. Certainly when it comes to marking the big boys. Maybe that's something that, like I say, it's a beta. That's the point of the beta. Give this feedback and hope that things get tweaked for the full release of the game. That's the plan. But let's go play Tottenham. Let's go hopefully keep our unbeaten start to the Premier League season going. And this is the team that we're going to send out there to do that. We still continue with Ramsdale in goal. He's done nothing to force me to drop him in favour of Anani yet. So Ramsdale in goal. A back four of Tierney, Zagadou, Skriniar and Tomiyasu. Bellingham and Kessie in midfield. Diaz, Smith Rowe and Gnabry behind Martinez up front. It does mean that in our first 11, because I guess this is probably our first 11, maybe you'd put Odegaard in ahead of Smith Rowe, maybe Llorente ahead of Bellingham. It's difficult to say we've got an out-and-out first 11, but I think it is fair to say that Saka not necessarily a nailed-on starter for us anymore, despite the fact I'm sat here in a Saka 7 shirt. So he's still young. He's got time to force his way back in. Those of you who watched Non-League to Legend last year will be delighted to know he's even played a couple of times at left back this year. I'm doing it again. I'm back to my old tricks. I had Saka at Arsenal in Non-League to Legend, and he was a great left back. Never really played him further forward. I'm at it again. Even though we've got Tierney and Digne, we've just got a very strong squad now. Here you go. We've got I thought we were lined up for a short corner. We had the guy there ready for the short corner. We've hit it long and Zagadou's scored. I can't win with these corners. Whatever we do, we're going to score from corners. They're just incredible. Far post, Zagadou, etc. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Lovely old stuff. I give up with trying to nerf my own corners. It's not my responsibility anymore. Sports Interactive, nerf the corners for me. For everybody. We all need them nerfing. Nerfing. Nerf. It's an F, isn't it? Learn to use your words, Kev. Still 1-0. Beautiful. It's a lovely corner, though. It's nice to see a little bit of variety and have them still be effective. What I want to see is a short corner in action. We had one in the Champions League game that we played, where we played it short and Smith Rowe ended up firing it into the top corner from a short corner, but it was disallowed for offside, so I don't think I can show you that one. I don't think there's a way to easily go back and find it. But the short corners are pretty effective as well. Just set pieces in general. You saw that free kick that we scored. Just set pieces in general are pretty effective in FM22, or at least they are with this Arsenal team. I know we've got some very big, dominant aerial players and some very talented free kick takers and corner takers. So maybe in general, maybe when we start Non-League to Legend with Leamington on the 9th of November on launch day, and we're playing down in Tier 6 in non-league, maybe I'll change my tune about the set pieces. Maybe it's not that set pieces are overpowered. Maybe it's that Arsenal are overpowered at set pieces. But we saw it a little bit when I did that little very short save with Dortmund as well. And we're seeing it a little bit with my posh team on Twitch. So I think just set pieces in general, a little bit too much oomph. This is a nice goal, though. This is from open play. And this is Gnabry firing it low across goal. And Arturo Martinez makes it 5 goals from 5 starts. He had a little spell out of the team injured. And we actually played a variety of options up front. Llorente played a game up front. Gnabry played a game up front. Just really as a way to force all my midfielders in. We did obviously play Belotti up front a couple of times as well. But I really am embracing the rotation and the experimentation this year and enjoying the fact that we've got a lot of players who can play in multiple positions, which is super handy. Right, we are going to bring Saka on and we're going to stick him on the right. Gnabry can go over to the left, which apparently is his preferred position. So we'll stick him over there as an inside forward on the left. Smith Rowe can come off for De Ketelaere, and that will do for now. We don't want to make all our substitutions in one go. Let's not get too overexcited. And we've played very well in this game. We're absolutely controlling the match against a Tottenham team that would fancy their chances of a top 6 finish at least this season. Tommy Asu's struggling a little bit, so Ricardo Pereira can come with him. Look at the strength of that bench, by the way. We've called the save rebuilding Arsenal. This is the best Arsenal squad they've had in 20 years. If we don't win the league with this squad, questions have got to be asked, because this is a bunch of incredible young talents, huge strength in depth. De Ketelaere has just played a pass like that. He's our 3rd choice attacking midfielder, and he looks fantastic. I'm very excited about the future of this club. Are we playing the short corner here? No, this time we've gone, weirdly, we were lined up for the far post because it's Gnabry at the front post. We were lined up for the far post and we've hit it short. So we've just ballsed that one up big style. Bellingham trying to play it through to Gnabry but couldn't find him. Last thing I'm going to say about corners today, because someone did raise a really good point in my Twitch stream. We keep talking about corners being really overpowered. But what you've got to remember is all the corners that you don't see in the highlights. We'll have a look at the match stats in a second. We've seen 2 corners in the highlights of this match. That's lovely work from Martinez and Saka. Saka grabbing his 3rd of the season, trying to show me that he absolutely should be a regular starter. I agree. But in order for him to be starting every game, we need to be able to start 15 players. So I don't know who else I drop to fit him in, but this is lovely work. We've come to Tottenham. We've beaten them comfortably. We are the kings of North London. 6. So yeah, there's been 6 corners. So 4 corners that we've had today didn't even warrant a highlight. And there'll be some matches where we're well into double figures for corners. and we've only seen a couple of them. I don't know. 6 corners, score from one of them when you've got a 6'5" centre-back. That seems reasonably balanced to me. Keep flip-flopping on this. I'm a monster. Let's go and play in the Champions League. Couple of changes then for the Zenit game. Onana comes in goal because Champions League goalkeeper. And Ginter's come in at the back for Zagadou, who picked up a knock in that last game. I know I was just talking about embracing rotation this year, but I like to show the best team to you lot. And I think this is the best team. I think, obviously, with Ramsdale. Well, I don't know. It's probably with Onana, but Ramsdale is also very good. There's too many good players. We've built too good a squad. We've just got to win everything this year. The squad's too good. I'm very, very happy with what we put together here. Onana just giving a very strong argument for why Ramsdale should be staying as our first choice goalkeeper. I'm not really sure what he's doing here. There's a lot of him. He's like 6'4", 6'5", and he's not come for that and then not tried to make a save either. Ramsdale's just sat on the bench giggling. He's going to be our goalkeeper forever, even though he's still got a grump on that we signed a better goalkeeper over his head, supposedly. Perhaps we should have rotated. Perhaps we needed to bring in some players who were trying to fight for their place a little bit. There's time to get back into the game. We're better than Zenit. Surely we're better than Zenit, or else Champions League is going to be... I've just been saying how great this team is, and now all of a sudden we're losing away against Zenit St. Petersburg. That will never do. Right, somebody get a tackle in. They're running past us again here. This is no good. Kessie to Luis Diaz, who has been in great goal-scoring form himself this season. And that is a very good pass for Lautaro Martinez. There's Gnabry, and there's his third of the season. And, oh my word, we play some good football at times. Going forward, we are such a good team. We're seeing so much of these new animations and the new, like, decision-making, AI-type stuff that you've got in the game now. And we're scoring some very different goals to any goals that I've seen in FM before. That ball forward to Lautaro Martinez, I don't know that you see a ball like that previously. Maybe you do. Maybe I'm still wearing my excited for the beta rose-tinted glasses. I'm sure you'll tell me one way or the other down in the comments section. But I don't know. That was a pretty good goal. That's a pretty poor pass, though, from Tomiyasu. Bellingham chasing back, winning the ball back. That's lovely work from Jude Bellingham. Still only 19 years old. What a player he is. And now Gnabry playing it back to Bellingham. Bellingham to Skriniar. And Skriniar now taking a few steps forward into the midfield. And look at how we've passed that around. And Diaz is pretty unlucky. The goalkeeper just turned into the Flash. That was lightning speed, and he still gives away the corner. If you're going to out yourself as a superhero, at least protect the corner. Right, we get to see the short corner now. Smith Rowe, and it just stopped. I think Emil Smith Rowe's offside there, because I think that's happened on the goal that I was talking about before that he scored. He plays it short to Tomiyasu, then Tomiyasu gives it back to him immediately while he's in an offside position. We might have to abandon the short corner if they're too thick to make it work. Oh God! But I mean, as a Peterborough fan, spent most of my life watching League One football. I'm very used to seeing teams attempt a short corner and then be offside because they're too dumb to know how offside works. It's just a feature, certainly a feature of short corners in the lower leagues, and maybe that is just an accurate reflection of how short corners are in football in general, but they shouldn't keep getting caught out by it, surely. Right, Smith Rowe's going to come off for Llorente, who came in to be the answer to our problem in midfield and has been struggling to get in the team and has played everywhere. We've played him in midfield, we've played him up front, right wing. Now he's playing as attacking midfielder. He is getting around a bit. Bellingham is fine. Gnabry is going to come off for Saka though, and we'll make him the inverted winger again. And we're just going to keep an eye on Kessie. We haven't got Thomas Partey on the bench, which is a little bit of an oversight. When Kessie's doing as much running as he does, we should probably always make sure we've got Partey on the bench. Tomiyasu then. We know how good his crossing can be. He decides to cut it back to Bellingham. He gives it back to Tomiyasu. Now Saka. Llorente eventually picks up the ball. Diaz with the shot as well. But between all of them, no one really got a proper shot away. And the highlight kind of just drifts away from us again. We've got 10 minutes left in this match. I think we're not going to win it. We're going to throw Belotti on for the last few minutes. He can come on for Martinez, just to give us a little bit more energy up front. We're going to encourage the boys as well. We're not going to go attacking. We don't We don't need to win this game. You can get out of a Champions League group by winning your home games, drawing your away games. So it's not the end of the world. And if Belotti could have got there, it would have been beautiful. But I think that was an example of a tired player overhitting a pass because it was nowhere near where it was supposed to be. But yeah, I think drawing this game is fine. If we lose it, we've got a bit of a problem. I'm literally just saying it. At least let me finish the sentence. Oh, my goodness. Right, now we will have to go attacking. I kind of want to rethink my substitutions. We've got Aubameyang sat on the bench. Martinez has been taken off. Gnabry's been taken off. And now we're chasing a goal. We're going to demand more. We've not been in this situation very often. Part of me's looking at that thinking, stick Saka left wing back, Tomiyasu right wing back, get the wide centre backs on and just go for it. But I've never done it, and probably now's not the time to experiment with it. Do we have anyone else who can play striker? Not really. I guess Llorente could go up front with Belotti. No. We're just going to stick with what we know works, and then just put it down to travelling all the way to Russia. That's a fairly standard Champions League excuse, isn't it? We had to fly all the way to Russia. It was a long way. It was an unfamiliar climate, etc., etc., etc. Belotti has been fouled there, hasn't he? No, apparently not. I mean, it didn't look like a foul, but he fell over in the penalty area. I was hopeful. It looks like Juventus have won their game as well, or are winning their game against Antwerp, meaning that as things stand, we're down to third in the group after 2 games. Not an ideal start to our Champions League group. But remember, the goal of the save isn't to win the Champions League. The goal is to win the double this season domestically. So the Champions League is kind of, it's in the back of our mind as a thing we'd like to do well in, but we're not going to be that worried if we don't do well in it. The club are looking for us to reach the quarterfinal. They don't want much, do they? Goodness me. Right. We will be back as ever tomorrow. I think we probably have to show one of the Juventus games, don't we? So I guess we'll do the home game against Juventus. We might even do 2 Champions League games after I've just said the Champions League isn't the goal. We might do Zebra and Antwerp tomorrow. And then do I was going to say do Man United and Liverpool, but they're either side of the World Cup. So we won't do that. We'll figure it out. I'll let that be future Kev's problem. He'll be fine. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.